And welcome to another episode of the Business Challenge. In this podcast, I talk about my journey in business, and in today's podcast episode, I'm going to talk about losing friends as an entrepreneur, losing friends as you grow and adapt in business. This is something that happens to anyone that achieves anything on any level in entrepreneurship, and if it hasn't happened to you, it's coming. If it doesn't come, it means that you've likely not pushed yourself in the direction that you want to go enough. And it probably means that you're not following your dreams. If you're someone that's ambitious, if you're an entrepreneur, then it's likely going to happen to you. I'm going to talk about how it's okay. I'm going to talk about how you can deal with it. And I'm going to talk about why you shouldn't worry about it. If you can't get through to the end of this video, then maybe you're not suffering with it as much as you think you are. If you are suffering from it, I implore you to get through to the end of this video, because I can confirm to you it will help you out. My name's Hayden. This is episode 6 of the Business Challenge. Let's dive into it. So my first note down here today in my diary is talk about the pain and the confusion of losing friends. I remember about 3 years ago, actually, I watched a video on YouTube, and this is the reason that I'm doing it, because this is where I got help from. I actually went back today when I was making my notes to make this podcast episode, and I saw my comment saying, "Thank you so much, this helped me so much," or something along them lines, on another YouTuber's video. And it didn't get many views, but I think it should have got a lot more. That's the video that helped me out of this predicament that I was in. When I watched that video, I was in such deep pain and distress because I felt my friends dropping off. And I haven't really spoken about this publicly ever at all before this, really. I felt my friends dropping off. And you might be going through something very, very similar. If you are, let me know right now in the comments. When you grow, when you progress, whether it's in personal life, whether it's in business, whether it's financially, whether it's spiritually, whether it's your physique that you're growing, whenever you're getting gains over other people, when you're making progression and perhaps they're not making progression, it brings a lot of jealousy and resentment for a lot of people. And that's predominantly where you start to lose friends and they start to drop off. That pain that you experience of friends dropping off is generally a fear. What I found, it's generally a fear of the unknown, because you're comfortable with them friends. You're comfortable with the people that you went to school with. You're comfortable with the people that you go to the pub with every weekend or every other weekend. And that comfort zone is what is actually stopping you from getting to the next level. So losing friends is an absolutely normal part of growth. If you weren't losing friends, if you don't lose friends, I would say you're probably not growing. Most people that start to drop off friends, they're dropping off the friends that are no longer bringing value to their lives. Every friend in your life should bring value to you, whether they entertain you, whether they make you laugh, whether they inspire you, whether they motivate you, whether they help you through tough times. The friends that are dropping off from you are probably not able to fill that gap anymore for you. So it's really hard to see logically when you're emotionally attached to these friends, but in years to come, I guarantee you can start to see it logically. Point number 2. They are trying to keep you in their comfort zone. They're never going to admit this, but the friends that drop off from you, the friends that can no longer be around you because you're growing as a person in whatever way you are, business, financially, spiritually, as I say, they never admit to this, but the reason they're dropping off from you is because you're shining a bad light on them. It's going to sound really bad for them if they say to you, "Look, the reason I don't want to see you anymore is because you're making me look bad." They're never going to say that. So what they'll probably do is start seeing you less and less and less, because that doesn't shine any light on them. Okay? They're trying to keep you in their comfort zone. I remember a few years ago, I stopped going out every weekend, maybe a couple of years ago, not even that long ago. I stopped drinking. I stopped going out at the weekends. And let me tell you, when you stop drinking, you start to realize who your real friends are. When you start to get out of patterns that your friends are in, you're exposing their comfort zones, and they don't like that. So they're going to push away from you, and you're going to think that you've done something wrong. You're going to start to think that you're doing something wrong. And sometimes, like what happened to me, you'll get back into that old rut that wasn't fulfilling you and wasn't pushing you towards your purpose. You'll get back into that habit, that weekly binge drinking habit, or whatever other bad habit you had with your friends, just to fit in again, just to feel like you're in a comfort zone again. But what happens is, if you allow your friends to drag you back into this non-growth stage and to their comfort zones, which they've labeled you as what you should be, then eventually you start to look around and you go, maybe it will be a few weeks later or a few months later, and you go, this is not what I'm destined for. And you'll sit there when your friends are usually talking about something just irrelevant, something that doesn't interest you, and you'll go, this isn't me. These are not my friends. And that's not to say that every friend you're not going to be friends with for life. I'm still friends with some people from school, but it's very minimal, because they're the ones that still bring purpose to my life. But it's going to get to a stage where you sit around with a group of people that are no longer inspiring you, that are no longer your type of people. And that's okay, by the way. They don't have to become you. And then you're going to realize that they're just not they're not your people anymore. And that's okay. But it's a scary thing. And that's the moment when you have to go on this journey, when you're ready to accept that you're different to them people. Note number 3, you must push through and let go. The worst thing you can do is live the life that they want you to. I promise you it gets easier and you get stronger. Some people, and this could have happened to me if I wasn't strong enough, because it does provoke some sort of anxiety and downward spiral temporarily when you let go of this, as a pre-warning. You must let go. You must be strong enough to let go. Some people aren't strong enough to ever let go of this, and it suppresses them forever. I've had fairly successful people say to me, the best thing I like doing is going out with my old friends and drinking. And deep down, I know that that's not right. I know that they are suppressing their success. Even if they're at a certain level of success, they're suppressing themselves from a next level of success by holding on to people that are no longer aligned with them. But it's okay. They might not ever get there, and you might not ever get there. But you have to let go. Because if you live the life that they want you to live, you will forever feel suppressed and you will have big regrets. You have to let go of the people that are no longer serving you. You have to let go of the friends that are no longer serving you. And I know it's scary, and I know it feels like you're in the middle of nowhere on your own, lost and confused when this happens. Trust me, I've been there. I've been to the stage where my friends invite me out of the weekend and I'm sitting at home just on my own, completely lonely, feeling like a loser, thinking there's something really, really wrong with me, when in reality, they just weren't my people. And I'm the sort of person that would rather be on my own than be surrounded by the wrong people. I'm the sort of person that would rather be on my own rather than being dragged into a life that's not right for me. Okay? The worst thing that you can do is live the life that they want you to, because I promise you it gets easier. And that's what point number 4 is. Point number 4, once you get past the pain of letting go, you will be so much stronger, and your people will start to come through the cracks. I can't explain to you in this podcast how much stronger I am since letting go of this thing, since embracing and getting through, which was probably 1.5 to 2 years right? Listen to me when I say that. A year and a half to 2 years, maybe even 3 years it took me to come stronger out the other side and fully let go of anyone that isn't serving me in my life. But I promise you, I am the strongest now I have ever been, and I could survive in this world without any friends. And the truth is, so could you. Do I want to? Of course not. The right friends, some of them will be from your childhood, but the majority will not be. Some of your friends will still be with you. A lot of them will not be with you. That's a fact. If you're growing as an entrepreneur, if you're growing in life. If you can get through that pain of letting go, you become an extremely powerful and strong person. You start to realize that you can achieve anything. And what else happens is that the right people start coming through to you in your life. The girlfriend that I'm with now, the supportive, strong, entrepreneurial, forever positive, happy, inspiring person that supports me in everything I do is a direct reflection of me letting go of the people in my life that weren't meant to be there so that I could flourish as the person that I'm meant to be for her, for myself, and for my family. Holding on to people that are not meant to be in your life and to friends that are not meant to be in your life is a scary thing to do. And you should be scared of hanging around and holding on to the wrong people rather than scared of letting go. And you'll only realize this in years to come if you go through this journey and actually let them go. The people that can come into your life, like my girlfriend did, right? It doesn't have to just be friends, like my girlfriend did, who's the perfect girl for me. Like some new friends have, like some new business friends have, who are more on my level. You start to attract all these people once you've let go of the people that you're not meant to be. Once you bring a new way of thinking, because you're not clouded by this nonsense that people that are not on your level, that people that are not on your wavelength, that are not your people, and that's totally fine. There's nothing against them, there's nothing against you, are no longer putting in between your ears. You start to attract the life that you're meant to have. And the next 5 years are going to be really big for me because I've done all these foundations. It's not a brag, it's just a fact. I've done all these foundations. Once you get the nonsense out the way and you're streamlined of your focuses, you can really start to make progress. But all these wrong friends, wrong relationships, wrong businesses, wrong stuff is what's really holding you back. Because the successful people have that focus. They're laser focused. They're not distracted by unhealthy emotions and unhealthy emotions dragging them into bad places. Am I perfect? Of course not. Have I still got things that I should not be letting myself emotionally get dragged into? Of course. We all have temptations. But once you get to a certain level, I believe that you can go ahead and prosper. And that's what you got to let go. Point number 5. Some friends will grow with you. Some will not. As I say, not all friends you're going to have to let go of. I've still got friends that are friends of mine from school. Okay? Not many, but I have. Some friends will grow with you. And some will not. And that's it. But that shouldn't be an excuse for you to try and hold on to the wrong friends. Because I know that a lot of you listen to that right now just thought, oh, okay, maybe I don't have to get rid of that friend because maybe they're going to change with me. No, they won't. That friend that you've probably got the most attention towards right now, that you're worried about right now, is probably the friend that's holding you back in the biggest way. And you've got to get over that. And that's for you to find out. That's not me telling you that. but you can't keep hope onto people that maybe not. I lost two of my best friends because I felt like they weren't growing with me. I felt like our values clashed. And they're great people. And I believe I'm a great person. There's nothing against them. But I lost my two best friends that I thought I would never lose. Simply because our values clashed. I wanted to hold on to them. I kept making excuses to myself that, it would never happen to them. Even when I saw the cracks in the foundations of our relationships coming, I thought to myself, I'll just ignore it. It's not them, it's not them, it's not them. Because I was too insecure and too worried to be able to let go of them in myself. But that day came. And it came in a way that I wished it didn't. It came in a more... It wasn't a nice letting go, and I didn't like that. Once again, there was nothing that either of us did that was wrong. I believe it was just, there was a lot of emotions brewing there for quite some time, and we were getting a little bit more distant as the weeks and the months went past, and all of a sudden it was just done. So the longer you leave it and the longer you don't realise this stuff, sometimes it can build that resentment more until it just snaps. But some friends won't be bothered. Some friends aren't going to grow with you. Some friends will grow with you and they'll start keeping up with you, or they might even go ahead of you and then you're trying to keep up with them. And it's sort of it's a nice balance. I've got friends like that even from school, they're doing well, I'm doing well, and we're all sort of like helping each other out. We have good chats, talk about life and business. And then you've got friends that just aren't bothered. I've got friends that I've got from school that just aren't bothered. So it's not all doom and gloom. Some friends don't necessarily grow in the same way as you, but they're not bothered and they don't let it affect their ego. They don't, when they see me grow, they're not even inspired by it. They're not inspired by it. They're not offended by it. They're not anything. They just want to be friends. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful friends to have around. But some won't. And you've got to get rid of the ones that won't. Number 6. Magical stuff starts to happen when you allow this to drop off. Inner confidence fires through you. And in the end, you just don't care. Wisdom and logic takes over. That's my next point, 6 in the diary. Magical stuff starts to happen, guys, when you allow your confidence to flow through, which, as I say, can take a year, 2 years, 3 years of letting go. There's no timeline on this. Initially, you're going to be sad. And you're going to be really concerned, and you're going to feel lonely, and you're going to have times where you're sitting there on a Friday, Saturday night where you used to go out with friends, that you're going to be sitting on your own, working on your business, working on your passions, whatever it is, going to the gym, and you're going to feel very uncomfortable about that. And this is why I had to make this video, because I've been there. But this is where the magic happens. If you can push through that hard times, magic's on the other side of it. And when I say magic, I mean that deep inner confidence and power inside yourself to realize that you can achieve anything, you can have any friends you want, any relationship you want, or anything, and it's all on the other side of fear. Most people just stay in these comfort zones. I believe that I get told that I project an energy now of inner confidence, and I never used to have that. And the reason that I have that is because I've progressed through some stages in life, right? Some deep, dark times in my life where I was really down in the dumps. And I got through it and I pushed through it and I'm a much stronger person for it. A lot of people never go through that in their life. So their level of wisdom and maturity never quite comes to fruition. And they just forever live this life of suppression, right? Magic happens when you get through them tough times. I have them in business all the time. I have it right now. Business has been really frustrating for the last 7 or 8 weeks. But I know that once it gets better, which it will, because it always does, because I'm the sort of person that will always make it better, because it's just who I am. I will push through until it's better. I know that I'm going to be a much stronger version of myself. And I'm going to have a lot more wisdom that I didn't have before these tough times. Tough times make you a strong person. And they are meant to happen. Magic happens on the other side of letting them happen. Excuse me. Point number 7. And this is my closing note. If you need to make notes of this, if you're going through this, get your notebook out right now. This is probably the segment that's right for you to make notes for yourself so that you remember this when you're feeling lonely, when you're struggling. If this is happening to you, this is point number 7. Right now, remember that you're not alone. It means you're chasing more. It means that you will be more. You want more in life. And you will be a lot stronger from this. You'll be a lot more powerful. And I promise it will work out in the end. This stuff is not normal for most people. 98% of people will not go through this. Do you know what else is 98% of people? Average people. Average people that aren't going after new things. Average people that are living a life that they know is not right for them, but they haven't got the willpower, the courage, or the hard work, or the mindset to go after anything else. If this is happening to you, although everything in your body, because you want to go back to our ancestral times, where you feel like you have to be part of a tribe or you're going to die, because that's what it used to be like, okay, in the ancestral times. That feeling of leaving your tribe and going after what you really want is for the winners. It's for the winners. It's a great sign that you are on the right track when this happens to you. If you know that you're a fair person, if you know that you're a nice person, if you know that you haven't done anything really wrong to leave you in this place, and don't doubt yourself here, you just know this deep down. Don't overthink silly things that you've said or done. You know this deep down if you're good and you're worthy of friends and family to be supportive and loving of you. If you know that deep down and you know you've done nothing really, really wrong to bring this about, and you also know that you're chasing what you want to chase and going after your dreams, but you feel like you're running into these hurdles and being knocked back by your friends and that they're trying to drag you back into their place, then the worst thing that you can do is ignore that feeling and let yourself get pushed back into this life that isn't right for you. The quicker you let go, the quicker you can become the person that you want to become. This is normal for the 2% of people. The 2% of people that want more from life, okay? But it's not normal for the 98%. So them feelings that you're getting of overwhelm, upset, confusion are just tricking you. It's because you haven't yet become the sort of person that can handle this, right? In order to become the sort of person that can handle this, that can handle more success, that can handle more criticism, that can handle getting to the next stage of your life, the next level in life, wherever you want to come, whatever you want to achieve, you've got to go through this. This is like a mission from the old PlayStation games. In order to level up, you've got to get through this. And you're just not there yet. That's why it's bothering you. But you will. And when you get there, you'll become a much stronger person. And your life will start to open up once you let these friends go. I would really... I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe or like this. I'm going to do a lot more content like this. All I'm going to say is, I hope it's brought you value. And the right people will subscribe. And they will like. That's it. Check out the podcast on Spotify. I post on Spotify. The Business Challenge. And also on YouTube. My name's Hayden. That was episode 6 of the Business Challenge. Keep living. You got this.